Thanks, Sean. Hi, Dave. I'll start a bit generally here, Dave. What were you hoping to see in the scrimmage today, and did you see it?
Hoping to get up and go and just get some shifts. The guys have worked pretty hard here for 3 straight days. We wanted to get in a scrimmage. We've touched on a lot of parts of our game, and we wanted to see if we get out there and start executing some of them. So it was. I thought it was good pace. Saw some good things. There's obviously some things that are still, we got to improve on, but not bad for the first scrimmage.
And Dominik Kubalin was on the ice for the first time. Interesting player. He has some experience with Draisaitl. Have you figured out who he is yet, or what he can bring? What do you think he can bring?
Yeah, he skated for a couple of days on his own, and then he decided he wanted to jump into the scrimmage. So I give him credit for that. But we put him on the group that had 4 lines, just not to overextend him that much. So a good start for him. We'll see where he gets tomorrow, but he's certainly an interesting player. He's got great skill, great vision. So we'll see where things go with him.
Next question, Derek Van Diest, Postmedia.
Hi, Dave. Just staying with Dominik there. I guess when you guys signed him, what was it about him that you guys liked and you thought he could bring to your group?
Well, he adds skill to our group, and he obviously has a relationship with Leon. I've watched him for the last couple of years. I like what he does. He's a smaller guy, but he's competitive. He's got great vision, really good vision, and the skill level is high. So, we were looking to add depth at some skill positions, and he happened to, it was a good signing for us. Good signing, and hopefully he'll come in and we'll see where things go with him. We got to find the right fit for him, but he looks like he can be a good player for us.
And in this scrimmage, and I guess of the next few scrimmages that come, how much of it is an evaluation process of where you want to slot in guys and things like that, and how much is it just let them kind of find their legs?
Well, it's probably a little bit of both. There's still some evaluations. We've got great depth at forward. We got to figure out where all the parts fit, kind of on our bottom end. But we'll scrimmage again tomorrow. But every day you're trying to get some cohesion in your group, but you're also evaluating and trying to figure out where the parts all fit. So, the next couple of days will be good in that sense. We'll do a little more special teams on Saturday, but so far so good. We've got a good idea with a lot going on, but there's still some things we have to figure out.
Next question, Jim Matheson, Postmedia.
Dave, no Neil and no Haas. Can we assume that they might be ready on the weekend, at least to get back? And is there missing time in these if you're going to have scrimmages?
Yeah, Neil is actually skating. Haas isn't. So, but I don't anticipate either of them back anytime soon.
Okay. The other question I have for you is that Evan Boucher looks a little leaner right now than he did.
Yeah.
Maybe in the return to play. Is that how you look at it too?
Yeah, he's not only I look at it, I know that for a fact with his with some of the testing we did. So he's come in and he's he come in great shape. He's played most of the year, so he's come in. He looks good out there. He's played very well in the few days we've had him here. So it's a good sign for him.
Next question, Corey Warren, TSN.
Dave, I just want to get back to your comment there about the pace. It looked like it had great pace at the beginning, and then as expected, because guys haven't been on the ice, it's kind of slowed a little bit. Tactically, as a coach, do you anticipate that that's how these games are going to go in the early part of the season? And does it maybe change your approach? Is the way that you try to attack some of these games and, get an early lead before the pace falls off and maybe save some guys later for the end, try to kind of play it that way? How would you approach this in these early days as a coach?
Well, I think you're going to see without exhibition games, there's going to be every team is going to have a little bit of tinkering to do and see where their team's at. So, you got to get in and read and react and see how your team's responding. Players have been off a long time, and without exhibition games, you're going to get probably some fatigue and some sloppiness early. And that's why we're working hard these days to try to take as much of that out as we can.
Next question, Jack Michael, 630 Ched.
Dave, considering you're going to have an off day here, you're already halfway through this camp. I'm wondering, from what you've seen to this point, has there been a separation concerning what you would see as the opening night group, or has it gone the other way and be a little bit more bunched up where there's still quite a few slots where guys are on the bubble, one group or another?
I wouldn't say quite a few. I mean, people start to separate themselves for sure, but you have a good idea where a lot of the pieces are going to fit, but there's some holes where there's competition, and there's been good competition so far. I wouldn't say anybody's separated themselves, but I wouldn't say anybody's taken themselves out either. So they're making hard decisions which is good for our hockey club. We need that depth.
And the follow-up to that would be a little bit more specific on the back end. Reading between the lines, you seem really pleased with what you've seen from Evan Boucher so far. And I would guess that Caleb Jones struck you as one of the guys that maybe stood out from the scrimmage, Lagus and physical. Is the back end getting crowded to the point where you have some hard but some really good decisions to make?
You know what? The back end being crowded is a very good thing, because you're going to need a lot of players this year. And we're fortunate we've had players come in and play well. Like you say, Bouchard's played well. Lagesson has really come in and played well. Cuckoo's come in and played well. So that added depth is going to be valuable for us. So even though somebody might not start in the opening lineup, that depth is going to be critical to as the season moves on. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, I like the depth. I like the competition, because, like I say, we're going to need all of them.
Next question, Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
I'm actually, I might need some of your construction tips. I'm helping my son build a chair at homeschool, so maybe we can get you some tips later on.
Build a chair?
Yeah, I got to build a chair. So, any tips?
Yeah, make sure it's sturdy when you sit down, it doesn't break.
Looking at, with these no preseason games, I saw that, and I'm assuming you've talked about being more of a puck possession team. In the scrimmage today, there seems to be a lot of guys, holding on that extra second in the D zone rather than just dumping it out, and not even a ton of dump and chase. Is that something you want to see from your team more? Is a lot of puck possession in all three zones?
Well, if you have the puck, you can't get scored on. But that being said, if you have the puck and give it away all the time, you're going to be defending. So we want to have the puck as much as we can. There's certain things you can do to try to keep it more, but there's also certain things you have to do to keep the percentages in your favor, whether it be changes or time in a game or situation you're in when you have to advance it. So those are all things that this time of year, coming out of a long break, those are some of those decisions that get made are things that you have to work on, because there's some are hockey decisions, and then there's real hockey decisions, and sometimes those don't align as much as you like.
And you are a longtime penalty killer yourself. When there's no preseason games, how do you work on a penalty kill in practice when the power play, isn't going to be shooting as hard as they normally would in a game? Is there any detriment at all to a penalty kill not having live fire action in the preseason?
You can make it close. Obviously, you don't want to be getting anybody hurt with it, but we're going to spend a whole day on special teams here the next couple of days or after tomorrow. So we have a pretty good idea. As long as our structure's in place, our guys understand what we're trying to do. You can practice it to an extent, but like you say, it won't be real until you get into the games. And normally exhibition games, you'd see some of that, but you're not going to see that. But I like, Jim Playfair does a nice job with the structure. We have, guys coming back that other than Sheehan coming back that we that know the structure we want to play. So I feel comfortable our penalty kill and be ready.
Last question, Jim Matheson, Postmedia.
Dave, Tyson Berry, if he's going to be your best offensive defenseman, would you like to get him on the ice with either McDavid or Dreisaitl's line as much as you can in a game?
That'll depend on how things are going. We feel that we're very comfortable with all our D, that we expect our D to be up with the play, involved in the offense as well as defending. And Barry obviously has high-end offensive skill. He'll be playing with them on the power play. So we'll just, some of it depends on how's the game's going. Some of it depends on matchups. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So, but if you look at it, you know, we've got people who can move the puck. He's not the only one. So to say he's going to play with one line or the other, that's yet to be determined.
One other question on Bouchard. Does he look a lot different and better now than he did in the return to play when you know, obviously Philip Broberg played an exhibition game, but Evan did not?
You know, he's in great shape and he's been playing, so you can tell that he's you know, he's coming. He's a confident player, but more than anything with Boucher is he's maturing as a person and as a player. And as that maturity process comes to fruition, he gets more comfortable. He gets more confident. And you saw that with Ethan Bear last year. You're going to see that more with Caleb Jones this year. And Boucher he's going through that process of becoming a good NHL player. And he's got lots of talent. He's got lots of desire. He's learning how to do things both on and off the ice. And he's going to be a good player, but you have to let those players go through the process to become a good player before you can actually call them a good player. So he's moving the right direction. And, you know, every time we seem to, with the breaks we've had, every time we've seen him, he takes another step forward, which is a good sign. So, you know, he's close to being an NHL player, and he's looking for opportunity, and he's not hurting himself with what he's doing to try to get that opportunity.